Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now, and today, let's go ahead and break down the latest Eagles news and rumors. There's some really interesting stuff that's been going on in and around the world of the Eagles, so let's jump right in with the latest news, starting off with Carson Wentz working out with wide receivers. Now, you probably saw this on your Twitter feed or on ESPN. Jalen Reagor, of course, the new rookie wide receiver out of TCU, posted on his Instagram story that he was working out in Houston with what looked like Carson Wentz and then other wide receivers. Now, if you're a follower and a fan of this channel, I reported this a couple of days ago before Jalen Reagor posted this because there was some information out there that Wentz was down in Houston working out with wide receivers, but now Jalen Reagor has confirmed it, and it looks like Carson Wentz is holding this passing academy in Houston, which of course is a little more open of a state and a city than other places, but you got to remember Wentz did this in Houston last year as well. So here are the players we know for a fact are working out in Houston. Again, this is based on people talking about what they saw, and obviously Jalen Reagor's Instagram. Wentz is there, the quarterback. Reagor is there. We know that. We can't confirm J.J. Arcega-whiteside was there. And then there were two other players who looked like Corey Clement and Greg Ward. That was multiple people confirmed that those were the other two, but you don't actually see their faces, so you can't fully know because they're off in the distance and they're kind of by each other. It's a weird Instagram picture. You're kind of like, trying to Sherlock Holmes it to figure out who is there. But it looks like it's Wentz, Reagor, Whiteside, Clement, and Greg Ward. Marquise Goodwin could be there, and Jalen Hurts could be there, but it cannot confirm that, so I don't want to go ahead and say that Wentz is working out with Jalen Hurts. But those are the four that we know are more than likely working out in Houston right now. Again, Carson Wentz got a bunch of new wide receivers, and he's got to start figuring out some chemistry. And you got to remember, this also would have been the time for the Eagles' mandatory minicamp up at the NovaCare Complex in Philadelphia. So they would have been working out anyway. So this all is a good look. And a lot of people will say, oh, look, he's getting extra special work with his wide receivers, which he is because of the time frame we're in right now. But it's not anything different than what he would have had if there had not been a pandemic going on at this moment. Now, is there a problem because there are, Dallas Goedert's not there or Zach Ertz is not there? No, don't worry about that sort of thing. It seems like Wentz has specifically pulled the young wide receivers who he wants to go ahead and get some more chemistry with and work with, who he did not get to either work out with last year or, threw the ball to in a very limited capacity at the end of 2019, talking about Arcega-whiteside and Greg Ward. I'm very excited to see what Carson Wentz looks like with all these new wide receivers, and this is just the start of what hopefully is going to become a very prolific and a very dangerous passing attack in Philadelphia. Now, who do you guys think will be the number one wide receiver in Philadelphia in 2020? There's a lot of receivers, a lot of new ones to pick from. Reagor, Goodwin, Greg Ward, Arcega-whiteside, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey. Who will be the number one wide receiver in Philadelphia? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, moving on. So, Carson Wentz has a new fan in the national media by the name of Colin Cowherd. Yes, the host of The Herd on FS1. Colin Cowherd has always been a fan of Carson Wentz, but for whatever reason this week, he has doubled down on the greatness of Carson Wentz, and whether you like Cowherd or you don't, I'm a big Colin Cowherd fan, it's fun to see someone in the national media understand and appreciate what Carson Wentz has been able to do. And the whole deal about Cowherd and Carson Wentz is comparing him to Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson, Colin Cowherd said yesterday on FS1, Russell Wilson's the best football player in the world right now. And he basically said that Carson Wentz is the new Russell Wilson. Here's what he said, quote, "Wentz is the new Russell Wilson. He's good. Stop it. He's the only guy in this league you watch Patrick Mahomes and you can see Wentz. Arm talent, angles, talent, mobility, size, moves. He gets banged up because he moves around a little bit. No one else looks like Mahomes. Wentz kind of looks like him." So not only is he being compared to the greatness of Russell Wilson, but the greatness of the Super Bowl MVP and arguably the best quarterback in the National Football League in Patrick Mahomes. When you actually break down Cowherd's argument here, the comparison between Wentz and Wilson, the numbers back it up. So starting with Wilson, the first 4 years of his career, won a Super Bowl, first off, made it to the postseason multiple times. 64% completion percentage, 218 yards a game, 106 touchdowns, 34 interceptions, 8.1 yards per attempt. Carson Wentz won a Super Bowl. Now, it didn't start in it, but still was, the key factor in the 2017 run. Completion percentage, basically the same. More yards, a couple of less touchdowns, and one less interception and a few less yards per attempt. But overall, these are very comparable stats. And everyone's saying, oh, Cowherd is just a homer for Russell Wilson and a homer for Wentz. No, he's looking at the stats, and really, like every Eagle fan has been doing, the eye test. If you compare Carson Wentz to the majority of quarterbacks right now, young or old, he's one of the top and elite quarterbacks in the National Football League. I've been asked this question a lot, and I'll do it anyway, just because it's fun to talk about right now. My top 10 quarterbacks. I'm gonna give you guys the list of my top 10 quarterbacks right now in the National Football League. Before we do, though, be sure to subscribe to Philadelphia Eagles Now for more content like this, where we try and break down, what people say. We can do that, the latest news. We give my opinion as well. We do everything here at Philadelphia Eagles Now, so go ahead, scroll down, and subscribe. So, I'm going to do this. Here are the top 10 quarterbacks I would take right now if I was starting a franchise, 1 all the way down to 10. So if you were doing a draft where you were going to pick, I was the number 1 pick right now to pick any active player in the NFL, what quarterback would I take and in what order? Well, number 1 is easily Patrick Mahomes. Duh. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is better than Carson Wentz. That's a fact. Is it by a lot? No, it's by a little bit, but he is better. I'd take Mahomes first. I would take Carson Wentz second. I think right now, if you were drafting a quarterback based on age and skill and longevity, Wentz would go number 2 to Patrick Mahomes. Now, the rest of the young quarterbacks, I got Lamar Jackson at 3, I got Josh Allen at 4, I got Deshaun Watson at number 5. I put Lamar Jackson behind Carson Wentz because, in my opinion, it's a passing league. It's always been a passing league. Lamar Jackson's gotten a lot better at passing from year 1 to year 2, but I'd rather my quarterback be a pass-first quarterback versus a run-first quarterback. We put Lamar Jackson there at 3. 6 is Darnold, 7 is Jimmy Garoppolo, 8 is Drew Lock, 9 is Kyler Murray, and 10 is Jared Goff. So remember, these are the 10 young quarterbacks I would take right now in the order if I was going to go ahead and draft them. That's why you don't see Brady or you don't see Breeze, you don't see Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers. Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they're better than Sam Darnold. You can argue they're better than Deshaun Watson, but we're going for younger quarterbacks right now. That is the list that I would have right now. Now, like this video. If you guys agree with what I'm saying, if you agree that Carson Wentz is easily a top 10 quarterback, that's no debate. Carson Wentz is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League right now. But if you agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you agree with my top 10 list here of young quarterbacks, then give it a thumbs up at the same time. Before we go over the final bit of news here, the Eagles are still going on with this Stronger Together campaign right now. And with Carson Wentz being the strong quarterback that he is, it's a perfect combination here with the Stronger Together campaign that I've been talking about here the past couple of weeks on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Chatsports.com/PhillyStrong using the promo code MELON, MELON, will get you one of these Stronger Together t-shirts that, of course, all the funds go to coronavirus relief. They are less than $20. I think the gray one is $14.99. The black one is $19.99. They're all less than $20 right now at chatsports.com/PhillyStrong. The promo code is MELON. Okay, final bit of news here. There's been some rumblings about not moving Jalen Mills to safety and actually starting K'Von Wallace at safety and keeping Mills at cornerback. So all offseason, all the reports have said, and Mills has said so himself, he's moving to safety. He's going to take over the Malcolm Jenkins spot, which, again, he's played safety before in the past, just a little bit. He moved around at LSU. I think a lot of us agree that Jalen Mills can do this. The problem is, if you don't trust Maddox, Sidney Jones, or Rasul Douglas at the cornerback spot, then maybe you keep Mills at his natural position of corner, opposite of Darius Slay, and insert somebody else, a.k.a. K'Von Wallace, into the starting safety spot. And everyone's been saying that K'Von Wallace has been a steal of the draft. Obviously at Clemson, played a lot of very big games, but could he actually start? Now, who should start at safety in your opinion? Jalen Mills or K'Von Wallace? Type M down below for Mills, type W down below for Wallace. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. But going back to K'Von Wallace, it makes sense why people say he's the steal of the draft and why people think he can start right now. Later round draft pick. Right, but he did play in the Clemson defense, which is one of the best defenses in the National Football League. In college football, Brett Venables has his guys ready to go. I mean, how many top 10 picks have come from Clemson, at least in the first round the past couple of years? And he looks the part, the stats match up, and overall, you could see if they want to move Jalen Mills, which I don't think they do. But I've heard some things that they might want to look at keeping Mills at cornerback. I think K'Von Wallace would move in there, probably over Will Parks, just because of how high this team is on K'Von Wallace going into the 2020 season. I think the secondary is set, as you see. Obviously, I think it's still going to be Maddox and Darius Slay with Jones in the slot. Their safeties will be Mills and Rodney McLeod. But again, if you want to keep Mills at cornerback, or if Mills struggles at safety, K'Von Wallace could be that guy, because a lot of people are very, very high on what he was able to do at Clemson and what he could be able to do, obviously, going forward in an Eagles uniform. The last great Clemson safety to be an Eagle, you guessed it, it's Brian Dawkins. It's Weapon X. So he's in very good company in terms of that, in terms of hopefully being one of the best Eagles of all time. I know it's big shoes to fill, but Clemson safety, we all think, obviously, Brian Dawkins, so we have to go ahead and wait and see. There you go. All the time we have for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the latest news updates, and obviously the Colin Cowherd conversation to me is fascinating. I'm going to read through all the comments down below, so be sure to give me your thoughts on that, as you always do. All the time we have for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. For the rest of your